What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. We finally have some news on the Michael Irvin case right now. Marriott, who the Texas court basically said you have to turn over all of the information that you have today to Michael Irvin's attorneys, which were all deemed as wins for Michael Irvin. They have now petitioned to move the case from a state court in Texas, which would be friendlier probably to Michael Irvin than they would to Arizona's Marriott, to federal court. Let's go through and read exactly what happened. Um, Marriott has removed the case from the state court in Texas to federal court. The evidence comes to the fact that Marriott filed official notice to the state court docket that shifts has occurred. Federal law authorities defendants sue in state courts to take the case to federal court when the defendants are not residents of the states where they are being sued. This concept recognizes the reality that they may be some home cooking for local residents suing out-of-state parties in the state. So Marriott in Arizona is like, yo, we don't want to go to Texas. I mean, everybody in Texas knows Michael Irvin. They're going to trust Michael Irvin. We're not going to have a fair case. It makes sense. State court judges are elected. Federal judges are appointed for life. At some level, state court judges will be conflicted by the fact that the plaintiff is among his electorate and that the defendants are not. Removal occurs automatically. Irvin now has the ability to file a motion to remand the case to state court. As long as all defendants are not Texas residents, however, the case will stay in state court. The removal becomes after Irvin scored a couple of easy wins, early wins in the state court, with the presiding judge requiring Marriott to name the employees who accused him of misconduct at the onset of the Super Bowl week, and then ordering Marriott to surrender any house videos or interaction that resulted in the accusation. The rulings remain operative in the case until Marriott pursues the federal judge to overturn them. Irvin was abruptly pulled from NFL Network, as we know. So here we go. What we're basically doing now is Marriott is buying some time, and they're looking for a friendlier judge than Texas judges. And I will say what this says to me, and listen, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an attorney. I'm not going to pretend that I know the law and all that. But to me, what this says is Marriott does not have anything that would be damning to Michael Irvin. If they had damning evidence of Michael Irvin doing something, they probably would have called the police, or somebody would have leaked it to TMZ to get paid, or they would have gone through and said, here's the evidence of what he did, leave us alone. To me, this says we just got caught with our hand in the cookie jar getting Michael Irvin in trouble, and now they're trying to figure out how to get out of this $100 million lawsuit. I bet you what ends up happening before it's all said and done would be this gets settled out of court. This gets settled out of court. I can almost guarantee you that that's what's going to happen. And for me, again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not Marriott. I wasn't there. I don't have anybody there as an informant. But from what we've seen from witnesses that were there, Marriott has not said this was something that happened elsewhere. We're only deemed with 45 seconds in a public space that there are eyewitnesses that say there was nothing that happened. Maybe this was a personal vendetta or somebody who just didn't like Michael Irvin for whatever reason. Maybe they bet a whole bunch of money against the Cowboys and they lost, and Michael Irvin had the game-winning catch. I don't know. But somebody could go through, and we've seen cases where people have accused people of bull jiggity, and come to find out it was bull jiggity, and it's messed up somebody's life or even have ended somebody's life. So, again, this is Marriott protecting itself, its assets, and its money. And if you don't know about the whole story in the background, Michael Irvin, employed by the NFL network as well as ESPN, in the Super Bowl, the week before the Super Bowl, already doing broadcasts on Sunday, came back to his hotel after taping a segment, having a few drinks in the bar and things like that, interacting with the fans, taking pictures and things with them, had a conversation with somebody who is known as Jane Doe, sitting at the bar, or excuse me, he was standing, never touched her. His hands, as the guy said, he was admiring how good a shape this 56-year-old man was. And that's how he remembers his hands being up at his side. 45-second conversation, part of which was on tape, went back to his room. Security comes to his room and says, "You have to get out of the hotel." The hotel says, "We got you on tape." Proceeds to call the NFL Network and ESPN, not the police. Not the police. They called his boss and made allegations, in which case they ended up saying, "We're going to suspend you here for this." And then enter, of course, last week, Michael Irvin basically suing them for $100 million, where Michael Irvin has gone through and he was getting early wins. So I'm assuming that this means that this is null and void. Everything that happened in the Texas court is on hold, and now it's going to need to be heard by a federal judge, in which case we'll see where it stands from that standpoint. But I'm thinking, again, I'm no judge, I'm no lawyer. If Marriott had something, they would have come out with it already. It would be out there, and they would have this thing wiped out. Because the longer this goes, the worse it looks for Marriott. I was hoping we get a resolution of this today, but unfortunately, it is going to be definitely going on for some time here. Whenever we get anything else on this, and we'll definitely be talking about this tonight during our live stream, we'll definitely be talking about this tonight on our live stream. And if we get any more news on exactly what happens with this, we'll be sure to bring it to you guys. So that's it. That's all. That's all we got at this moment. And I'm going to keep doing my research and get back with you. Hope you're having a great Monday, and I will see you in 45 minutes. Peace.